Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this huge realization I've had. So I'm going to bring in a few pieces. The first piece is something I've been working on for a few years. And then the second piece is something fresh off the presses, which I figured out early morning while half asleep state this morning. And that is the topic of this thing. It's about how brilliant the Alcoholic Anonymous program is, the AA program, 12-step program is. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And it ties in perfectly with all this stuff that I've been thinking over in the last few years. Okay, so let me start. The first piece is my conclusion is that all human problems, fears, greed, envy, anger, resentment, ego issues, all of that, pride, all of those things come negative things. I'm going to call them anarthas. Um, so Anarthas are a generic term for all human things. So usually in the modern philosophical world, we say traumas. Childhood traumas are what are causing all of these problems that we have. So instead of just calling it childhood traumas, I'm calling it anarthas because I'm bringing in not just from our childhood, but from past lives. We are bringing all kinds of things from our previous lives as well, from the gazillions of previous lives that we have had. We have worked through some things. We have not managed to work through some things. We're working through some things in this life. So we're bringing all of that from our past lives. And so I'm calling that anartha. It's just a general broad term. Which people usually say traumas or trauma-related problems, human negative emotions, so to speak, right? All of these things are anarthas. All of them happen because we don't feel loved. So I'll give examples. Now, this is a new thing to be able to give concrete examples like this. If I'm feeling resentment at somebody because they didn't respond to me, that is because I'm saying that you are supposed to respect me so that I feel worthy of respect. And if I feel worthy of respect, I will be loved, right? So if you're not responding to me on time, or if you're not sending me the message, that caring message that I'm expecting, you are not loving me, you are not respecting me, which means I am unworthy. I am taking on, you are dictating that, and I'm taking on that. I'm unworthy because you said so. You didn't deem me worthy. So I'm giving you the responsibility for dictating whether I'm worthy or not. And if you say I'm not worthy, then I'm not worthy. And then I feel panicked because human beings crave love more than anything else in the entire planet. Human beings crave love, right? More than anything. Every single human being, all of these human problems are coming because we crave love and we're not having a sustainable source of it. So when you are not responding to me, then I am feeling that you are not loving me. I'm not going to be loved. I'm not loved by you, obviously, because you've not given me your time. You've not given me your time and energy to respond to me. So I'm not loved. If I'm greedy, it's because I want more. I'm not talking about the basic things, the basic necessities of life, but I'm talking about like after we have the basic necessities, if we want more, that's, and I'm not saying we shouldn't have more also. It's like, how do you get the more? But if you want more, if you're feeling greedy, it's because I need more, because then I will be respected by everybody around me and then I'll be loved. If I'm feeling envy, it's like, oh, you have more than me in this particular area, which means you are going to be loved before me. So I'm feeling envy, right? I want that love. And I want to be known by people, respected, honored, loved by people. At the bottom line is loved. So I want to always look good because I want people to love me. I want people to think that I'm good so that I will be loved. Any anger, like I told you to wash these dishes and you never wash these dishes, and like whatever. And I'm not saying don't set boundaries. Of course we need to set boundaries, but whenever we're angry, like you, no, not just I, but you did not wash these dishes, you are a bad person and all that, like anger, that comes from this feeling of being unloved. Like if you are not respecting me and you're not honoring me, you're not loving me, I'm not going to be loved. You are saying I'm not lovable. So there are two aspects. One is that I am not loved right now, I'm not loved, but then we go a step deeper and we say I am not lovable. right? I've said that I used to say this a lot, like there's something fundamentally wrong with me. There is nobody loves me and nobody can love me. I'm unlovable. That was the core wound that I had. So when we go to that, I am unlovable, then we start to panic because that's all we need. That's all we want. This is the core of what every human being needs. So if I'm feeling like I'm unlovable, then I'm going to be panicked. Okay. So then what do we do when we have these? We turn to all kinds of addictions. We start chasing after people who don't want us. We start chasing after food. We will have food addictions, or people may have alcohol addictions, or people may have drug addictions, or people may have sex addictions, or people may have like love addictions, or whatever, obsession about somebody who doesn't want us, who is not reciprocating their love to us, because we're like, oh, we need to feel loved, right? We need, so we're going to seek love and shelter from other people. We're going to seek love and shelter. If there's one person in the world, like everybody loves us, and one person in the world doesn't like us, then we're like panicked. Oh, I'm not lovable. So we seek love and shelter from other people. We seek love and shelter from alcohol. We seek love and shelter from food. We seek love and shelter from all kinds of other things, TV or phone or shows or whatever. We'll get that dopamine kick, but that will be basically feeding our need for comfort, our need for that love that we're not getting, we're not feeling. Okay, so now the way to resolve it. So this articulation piece was a new piece. Being able to give examples, concrete examples, I've been working on that for a few months. But this belief that we need to be loved, and that's what's causing all human problems, that has been there for a while. Okay, now how do we resolve this? We turn to addictions. Now, how do our friends try to help us when we are addicted like that? They will try to tell us, like, if you have an alcohol addiction, don't drive by your favorite bar, or don't drive by any bar. Or if you're with a friend and somebody is offering it to you, then order something else, maybe that's sweet or something that distract yourself, right? Or talk to the person, or there could be a million different kinds of advice that people will give. Is that the solution? So the main concept of this thing is Alcoholic Anonymous, and how beautifully they handle it. Is that what they do? Do they give advice like that? Don't drive by bars, or don't hang out with people who drink, or distract yourself if you see something. If somebody offers you a drink, distract yourself with someone else or walk away. Or is there any of this kind of advice that anybody is giving in the Alcoholics Anonymous? Zero. Absolutely zero. And the Alcoholic Anonymous things works. I mean, I think a lot of people have managed to get out of alcohol addiction, not with this advice. Zero. So how do I know? I have done this program. It's called Anartha Nivritti in Action. So it's been modified by this lady who did this Alcoholics Anonymous program, not for alcohol, but for mental addictions, anarthas. So all of these other addictions, these obsessive compulsive addictions, or food addictions, or these kinds of things. So she went through this program over and over again, and then she modified it to go through. So this is God. Everything in the AA program is related to God. And she modified it to Krishna consciousness through the ISKCON path, which I'm a part of. So I did that program, which was really good. So I've just completed it, about 3 months of it. I've just completed the 12 steps. So I know what the program is now. I know all the 12 steps because I've done that. So what is the 12-step program about? Step one, the most important step, it has 2 parts to it. One is to admit that I have a problem. This is step 1 only. 2 is to admit that I'm powerless to resolve it on my own. I need help. Okay, this is step 1. Very, very crucial step, right? If you don't admit that you have a problem, then you're never going to be able to resolve it. Step 2. Understand that the first one is I need help. I'm powerless to resolve it on my own. The second step is that there is a higher power that can help me, God. Step 3. I am turning to you, God. I am turning to you, Krishna, in my case. I cannot do it on my own. I'm turning to you. Please help me. Okay. Step 4, taking inventory of our own problems. Because if we say, I am drinking because this person handed me a drink, we are giving that person the responsibility for our lives, which is not true. That person does not have a responsibility. Whatever the reason may be that they gave you that drink, they handed you that drink, even though they know that you're going through this thing and you're trying to be sober or whatever, your life is your responsibility. So taking responsibility, if you took that drink, or if I, in my case, if I ate that sugar, if I ate that food, then it is my responsibility. Whether somebody else gives it to me or doesn't give it to me, it doesn't matter. It is my responsibility. How do I handle it is I may choose to stay away from this person, or I may choose to stay away from people who do respect that, but it is still my responsibility. It is not their responsibility. Or I may make myself strong enough that even if they say whatever, I figure it out on my own, but it is my responsibility. Step 5 is admitting to another person all of our mistakes. So step 4 was taking inventory of our mistakes. Step 5 is getting ready to admit it. Step 6 is actually admitting it. Step 7 is saying, God, please help me remove all of my character defects. I beg you, please help me remove all of my character defects. Okay. And so it goes on. It's all about prayer. Step 3 is prayer. Step 7 is prayer. Step 10 is prayer. Step 11 is prayer. This is prayer, a lot of prayer. Step 8 and 9 is like saying, finding people. Step 8 is like finding the list of people I have harmed. Step 9 is talking to them if it's valid, right? Step 10 is doing this continuously. Step 11 is doing this continuously. There's a nuanced difference between them. Step 12 is helping others, because when you help others, then you help yourself. So it's a continuous thing. Then it's not like just a one-time thing, because this kind of stuff is not a one-time thing. You cannot just simply go through this program once and then you're done. This is not how it works. This is a continuous thing, lifelong connection. But the entire AA program, there is zero advice, zero. All we're doing is building our connection with God so that we feel loved. And we are addressing the very root cause of our problems, is that we don't feel loved. So we are building our connection with God so that we feel loved. Okay, now the middle part, talking to another person, step 5 and 6 is we're talking to another person. We've made an inventory of all of our flaws, all of our character defects. Step 5 is we're getting ready to talk to people. Step 6, we're talking to people, completely opening up to people. Who are we talking to? We are not talking to just anybody. We're not going outside the group to talk to people, because they will not understand. If we tell them, I apologize because I was resentful about you because I did this, they'll be like, oh, and they'll use that against you or whatever. They'll not understand. People within the group only, we reach out to them. It's called outreach. We make calls. We're encouraged to make calls every day. 2 calls even, 3 calls even. It's up to you. It's okay to talk a lot. And tell people that this is the resentment that I felt. This is the anger that I felt. This is the anartha that I have. And I understand that it's my problem, right? Just to talk to them, or talk to them when I'm not able to understand that it's my problem. I'm really mad at this person, or whatever it is. We are sharing. So whatever is in our heart, like whatever fears and deepest secrets that we're holding in our heart because we're so ashamed. When shame thrives, Brene Brown talks about that a lot. When shame thrives when it's in darkness. So when we take a torchlight and we shine it on that shame, then it just dissipates. It cannot live. And plus, when we're talking to other people, we realize that they also are going through the same things, right? So they'll talk about their deepest fears, and we'll be able to relate so much, and we'll be able to be like, yeah, okay, exactly what you're saying, exactly. I feel the same way. I do exactly the same thing. So this whole thing just becomes beautiful, because what we're doing is we're building love and connection with other people in the group, within the group, because people who are within the group are very eager and intensely eager to work through these things themselves. They want to work through these things themselves. They want to heal. They want to connect. They're eager to connect. And especially because this was a women's group, women are anyways very eager to connect a lot. Not all of them, but yeah, people here, many are. Like we can usually tell, and then people are like, yes, let's do this every day. People are very eager to do it. I'm like, oh my goodness, really? There are other people who also want to talk every day? Because I want to talk every day. And I'm like, wow, there are other people who want to talk every day as well. How amazing is that? So yeah, so we build love and connection with human beings because we need that. And the primary goal is we build love and connection with God. And so when we build love and connection with God, then we start to feel peace, we start to feel loved. And then when other people are not responding to us or getting angry or whatever, it doesn't bother us anymore, right? Or when we feel or we don't get angry if things happen, like we don't get bothered if other people get angry, and we ourselves don't get angry. We're able to forgive much easily or just let go, like, yeah, it's okay, it's their life, their choices, what they're doing is their thing. It's got nothing to do with us. So they can live their lives and we can live our lives, and whatever they say doesn't, it just reflects. I know people like that. It just reflects, things just reflect off of them completely. They don't get bothered, they don't get bogged down by it. Okay, so yeah, next time you feel this need, and I'm not also saying that you should never give advice or you should never, but you should be very, very careful about giving advice, because more than anything, what is important is feeling loved. And how do we feel loved? Just by hearing, just by being there for the person, and just by just holding their hand and being there for the person. That's it. We can just simply reflect. So what in this outreach calls that we're doing, what we're encouraged to do is not give feedback. Absolutely no advice. Unless the person asks for it, of course, it's different, and but it's a tricky thing. You have to be very careful around that. But what we do is we just reflect. So if the person speaks, we just reflect back what we heard the person say. We can say it in our own words, or but we're just reflecting back. From what you said, this is what I understood. So then the person feels heard. So imagine if a person is angry with you and you're saying, what I'm understanding is that you're angry with me because I want all of your time and attention, and you feel like I'm asking for too much. Instead of saying, but I'm only asking for 5 minutes a day, but you should be giving me 5 minutes a day. Instead of saying that, we're like, I understand that you're angry because you're feeling that I'm asking for too much. How heard will the person feel? How good will the person feel? And how much deeper will your relationship with that person be? Because what matters is not who's right or who's wrong. What matters is how do you feel and how do you make the other person feel. Do you feel understood and heard, and can you make the other person feel understood and heard in the same way that you want to be understood and heard? So yeah, the 12-step program is absolutely freaking incredible. It's absolutely incredible. There's no advice giving at all. It's just about, I am here for you. I am going to be there I'm going to hear you. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to see you. I'm going to be there for you. And we're building our connection with God. And that's the source. That's the ultimate source, because we are powerless to do anything. There is a higher power that exists, and that higher power can help. And we're turning to Him and we're praying non-stop. Every time we're feeling something, we're praying, please, 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 God, please, Krishna, help us remove all of our character defects. Please take all the good and the bad that we're doing. Please let it be your will. Please let me be a vessel for your will. And please let me do whatever you want me to do for you and for serving those you love, which is everybody. God loves everybody. So please let me be a vessel. Let me be an empty vessel. Remove all of those anarthas from me so that I'm an empty vessel, so that you can fill me with your will, your love, your shelter, your love, and your will, and you can tell me, you can guide me about what you want me to do so that I can do that. That's the prayer. That's a step 7 prayer. It's super powerful. Okay. That's it for this video. We'll do sorry. I'm doing the Bhagavad Gita spiel right now. That's it for this video. Wish you a day filled with lots of love and shelter from God. Wish that you're able to seek and pray. Please, God, allow me to feel your love and shelter so that I don't seek it from other people or food or whatever it is that you're addicted to, phones or TVs or TV shows or YouTube or whatever it is that you're addicted to. Radhe Radhe.